Hello, friends. Here I am in the new house in Sonnenbruchel, and as you can see by the empty shelves behind me and the junk in the background, we're not quite moved in yet. Matter of fact, Bob is out doing another run to the old house and getting the rest of the stuff. My dress forms didn't fit in the truck, strangely. Um, so we're still in the process of moving, and it's crazy. But I decided to make a video today. I skipped a couple weeks there because we were in the middle of the move. But I wanted to make a video today to update you on my progress. I weighed in this morning at 204, which is higher than my last weigh-in, but only by 3 pounds. So that's not too bad for having been ordering takeout pizzas for weeks. And my shoulder is pretty bad. And because my shoulder is bad, I've been abusing my elbows and my knees, my ankles. I mean, everything hurts right now. I'm just the process of moving and packing and unpacking. It's been 2 weeks of really beating myself up, and I'm not surprised that I'm in pain. Not sleeping terribly well. I think I'm still getting used to the temperature in the house at night. But it's also menopause. I sweat at night and wake up, wet and cold. But I'm also, I have the pain in my shoulder, and that's the shoulder I sleep on. And then I roll over and sleep on the other side, but I'm not comfortable sleeping on that side. Probably because I spent 9 months not sleeping on that side when my left shoulder was frozen. So, shigarekanai. And, but the good news is that I'm now here in Sun, and Therme Sun is literally 5 minutes away, if 5 minutes away, and down the most beautiful street. I mean, it's the street that comes off the highway exit, but it's beautiful and twisty, windy, bordered on both sides by trees, and it has shrubs in the median. And the Dutch do this thing so that you don't speed. The place is entirely flat. We could have, a grid, a boring grid, like a lot of places I've known that are flat. But the Dutch don't do grids. They do meandering streets, meandering roads with trees planted right next to the road. And I found out that this is psychologically, when something is close to the edge of the road, you don't go as fast as if there's a wide open space. And also, meandering roads, you don't go as fast either. And instead of just putting a arbitrary speed limit on things, they encourage you to drive more slowly. So beautiful meandering route to and from Therme Sun, with gorgeous trees that are this time of year turning all different colors. And even in the winter it's going to be nice because there are hedges on either side. There are trees, and then there are hedges just outside the trees, because the bicycle path is on the other side of the hedge. So the bicycle path is nowhere near the cars. And the hedges on either side are evergreen. So they're going to be green all year round. And it's nice. I used to complain about stick season in Pennsylvania, and there really isn't a stick season here. While trees lose their leaves, someone thought about, okay, when the trees lose their leaves, we have to have some other greenery somewhere. So there's a lot of evergreen ivy and rhododendrons and laurels and things like that planted around, so that when the trees don't have leaves on them, other things are green, which is nice. So it's a beautiful drive there and back. And when I get stronger, I will do it on my bike, but not just yet. And I went to the thermal baths last night, because we're in a mini lockdown, so they have to close at 6. But their cheap evening price starts at 5, which is, it's crazy. Like all day long, it's 31 euros to get in, which is not expensive. And then at 5 o'clock, it's 22 euros to get in, which is even less expensive. So I went at 5. I figure I'm not going to spend more than an hour there anyway. So I went at 5, and you have to get out of the baths at 6. but then you can go to the restaurant for 2 hours if you want to. And when I left, they said, "Oh, didn't you have a good time? You've only been here for an hour." And I went, "I've been here for an hour." And they're like, "Oh, but you should stay longer." Because apparently people just go and stay all day. But yeah, so I went to the thermal baths, and they have an indoor outdoor pool, and I just swam to the outdoor side and did laps outdoors in middle of November. I mean, it's not warm, don't get me wrong. It's not quite freezing, but it's November. And I just swimming laps in a pool outside in November. It was gorgeous. The weird thing is, and it won't come off as weird to anyone who lives in Europe, but I mean, I've gone to saunas before, and most of the time, well, I think every time I've gone to a sauna, it's been men on one side, women on the other, or men at one time of day and women at the other. But it's Europe and nobody cares. So there are people all over the place. And like when I went to a couple of places where you wear your towel until you get to the sauna or the bath, and then you take your towel off and you get in. But this place, there are naked people all over the place and nobody cares. And I mean, I walked in, they're like, "Oh, here's your key to your locker number 5. It's right here." And I opened up the door to my locker and took my coat off, and a little fat old naked man walked up to the locker next to me and started taking his stuff out of his locker. And I'm just like, "Oh geez, I expected to be further inside before I had to actually see naked people." But no one cares. And it was the most amazing experience for me, because I'm not shy. Like, I don't care about being naked. It doesn't bother me at all. But I'm not used to being around other naked people. And so you go into the showers, and the showers are like high school gym showers where everybody takes a shower at the same time. And basically you're just supposed to wash off before you get in the bath. And then you wash off after you go to a sauna. After you change anything, you're supposed to go and wash off. And it's a shower. It's all the same temperature all the time. You just push a little button and it gives you enough water to rinse off, basically. It's not like a soapy shower. You take a soapy shower later when you're going to get dressed again. And it was the most amazing experience to see not perfect people. Because you think, "Oh, I'm going to go to the spa and everybody there is going to be perfect." And nope. Most of the people who were there were older than me, or my age, overweight, cellulite all over the place, lumps and bumps. I think there were 2 young women there, and everyone else was out of shape. And it does something to your psyche when you see so many different non-perfect bodies that you think, yeah, you know what? That's the world. The world is not perfect. And, intellectually, this. Intellectually, that people aren't perfect. I mean, even the people who were thin and young, they weren't perfect either. And the more people you see, the more you go, yeah, okay. Everything's okay. And yeah, I mean, there were some obese people and some just flabby people. And personally, I don't want to be perfect. I want to be well. And I know that right now I'm just over the line of obese, and it's making it harder for my shoulder to work properly. It's making it harder for my elbows, my knees, this kind of stuff. So I want to lose weight. So I'm watching what I eat. I'm not snacking, this kind of stuff. Mild stuff, not crazy stuff. Just eating what makes what keeps my UC symptoms under control, and just not cheating, because I'm having a little bit of intestinal, I mean, not a lot, not enough to tell a doctor about, but a little bit of intestinal distress because I moved, and everything's crazy, and I'm and my physio said to me, I mean, it's funny, my physio working on my shoulder said, how are your bowels? Like, what? You're a physiotherapist, what do you care? And he said, no, because you're stressed out. um if I think that a lot of your symptoms are stress related, and if your bowels are upset, then I know you're causing yourself stress, and clearly I am. So I'm also going to see a psychologist in December and talk about. I've been experiencing kind of a fear of being around people. Yeah, I know. Me, afraid of being around people. It's crazy. But if, just, I was in the car the other day and I kept jumping, like, because there were cars around. And, I mean, I used to drive to work in crazy traffic, and now I'm afraid of cars. I'm afraid to ride my bike. I'm afraid to do a lot of things, but it's because I feel unstable. I feel like, my shoulder hurts and my elbows hurt and my knees hurt and my foot hurts and everything hurts. I don't want anyone to touch me. I don't want to bump anyone. I don't want to trip. I don't want to fall. And also, 18 months of COVID-19 pandemic is messing with my head. And I find I'm afraid of things. I'm afraid of, being around people, because we were told for so long to stay away from people. So I stayed away from people, and now I'm stuck in that groove. I'm also very embarrassed that my Dutch isn't better. I was working so hard on my Dutch last year. And then, the lockdown happened again, and you couldn't go visit anyone. I couldn't go visit my friends. And Bob was in the US. Not that I speak Dutch to Bob very much, but, Bob was in the US. We moved to a new house. I couldn't meet my neighbors because you weren't allowed to go visit people. So the usual thing, you move into a neighborhood and people come knock on your door and say, hey, you're new, want to come for coffee? But that didn't happen because lockdown. And then, I mean, I meet a lot of people dancing, and we weren't dancing. So it's playing with my head. And when I told my doctor this, he was like, yeah, you and everybody else in the country, because this is just, COVID-19 has psychological ramifications. So on December 2nd or 3rd or something, I have an appointment with the house psychologist at my doctor's practice, and I've met her before. She's pretty cool, and I'm just gonna have a chat with her and see if we can work out some techniques for me to stop feeling afraid. And I think that part of it is being physical again. So, like I said, Sunday night I went to Therme and went to the baths and swam. I also went in the sweat room. I love a steam room. Oh my God, I love a steam room. And I don't do dry saunas. I mean, I have. They don't throw me. But a steam room, oh wow, and it smelled like eucalyptus. My sinuses were great last night. And then I soaked in a tub that was scented with rosemary and all this decadent stuff. 22 euros. 22 euros, and you could do this for hours. It's amazing. But yeah, yesterday I came back, and I'd probably swam for about 20 minutes. I don't know, because the clock was far away and I don't wear my glasses in the pool, obviously. So it's like, does that say? I don't know. And I kept staring at the clock, and I was hoping people didn't think I was staring at them as they were walking past it, because I just couldn't see the clock. So I swam for 20 minutes and basically stayed there for an hour, and came home and felt really good, and then started to feel bad again. And it's kind of amazing. You don't realize how much pain you're in until it stops for a while. And that really reinforced that I have to do this, because I've been taking Advil, and it hasn't really been helping. And my doctor said, well, you can take 2 instead of 1. And I did that, and it didn't help me sleep or anything anyway. I still had the pain. So I don't like to take Advil. Also because it has, too much of it will bother my stomach eventually. But yeah, this weird feeling of realizing, feeling the pain again and realizing that there was a space when I didn't feel that pain. It just makes you want to go back to the baths, doesn't it? So this morning at 8 a.m., I went to the swimming pool, which is attached to it, Therme. It's a big, huge complex. And the swimming pool is the regular swimming pool. You wear a swimsuit there. And which is a pain in the ass. Let me tell you what a pain in the ass it is. If I could afford to go to Therme every day and swim laps in their pool instead, so that I don't have to put on a swimsuit, would be absolutely paradise. But it's 22 euros is expensive when you do it every single day. Whereas this swimming pool is the 17.50 for 2 weeks, which is terrific. And there, obviously, it's a swimming pool. You have to wear a swimsuit, and getting a swimsuit on my shoulder with my physical limitations is incredibly painful. Pulling up the bottoms is like getting my arm in the straps is one thing, but pulling up the bottoms is, oh my God, it's painful. So, but I can't afford to do anything else. And it's a shame because I would love to just go to Therme, to the baths, and swim there and not put on clothes. But so I went to the swimming pool, and 8 o'clock in the morning, it is delightful. There are two big swimming pools. There's one that's lap swimming, and the other one is for group lessons or, instruction, whatever. And all of the lanes were taken. And if you share a lane with someone, you have to swim, reasonably the same speed as they do, or else they're going to keep bumping into you. And I don't. I swim very slowly because I'm not trying to swim fast. I'm trying to move my shoulder properly, and it takes a lot of effort. So I swim very, very slowly. So because there were no lessons or anything, you can swim anywhere. You can swim in either pool if there are no lessons there. So I just got in the lesson pool and swam. And I swam for 35 minutes, and it was really good. I was very slow, but it was really good. And I enjoyed myself. And that time of day, they have the lights on the walls are on, but the overhead lights aren't on. And it's really quiet. All you can hear is people splashing. And by the time I left, they were setting up for aqua aerobics. And so they turned on the music and, that kind of stuff. But so now I know when not to go. But yeah, it was delightful, and it's such a no-brainer. Yes, obviously I should go swim every single day. And the problem is that on Saturdays there's only a 1-hour window when you can swim, and on Sundays all day is kids' day. So if you're in the pool, there are going to be kids running around all the time. So I'm not so crazy about swimming on Saturdays and Sundays. But I could swim Saturdays and Sundays at the baths. So I'm really hoping that pattern orders recover soon, because I want to go swim naked in the warm water. Please, 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 please. It's therapeutic. I'll have a note from my doctor. But yeah, I've definitely hit on something. Ultimately, I love the water. I've always loved the water since I was a baby. And it doesn't feel like exercise to me. Right now, I'm physically exhausted. I barely can hold my head up. I'm so tired. But, doing 35 minutes of exercise is more exercise than I've done in months. Because I'm not walking because my foot hurts, and, all the other things that I'm not doing because I can't move my arms properly. So, but swimming, I just feel comforted in water. So even a bad swim, I don't even know what a bad swim would be. I'm so sore I can't move. That never happens, because you get in the water and then suddenly things you couldn't do on land you can do. And it makes me really happy to be in the water. And I gotta say, I didn't do anything with my hair. I literally got out of the pool, rinsed my hair with fresh water, and shook it. And look at this. Look, it's like it looks great. So clearly, supposedly the baths are full of spring water. I don't even know what that means. Um, but I think they're not overly chlorinated. But wow. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And this is definitely a way forward for me. So I just wanted to tell you about the baths, and I can't believe how inexpensive it is. But then again, it's the Netherlands. Dutch people won't tolerate outrageous prices. And my God, the it's just full of elderly people. I mean, it's not only elderly people, but the amount of elderly people who go to swimming classes and um, I mean, when it's a sunny day, everybody's out on their bikes, and they're so. I mean, I don't know if they have a longer average lifespan than Americans, but they sure as hell enjoy their elderly years. They don't seem to stop. You don't see a whole lot of people who appear immobile in any way. I mean, they're just all out there doing stuff. Healthy, healthy, healthy. It's crazy. So it's nice because oh, I didn't say I went to get a flu shot. I got a letter, from the government saying, oh, you can go get a flu shot. Go to your doctor on this day and get a flu shot. And I got a flu shot. But I got a flu shot with a bunch of over 60-year-olds, which, when I walked in there, everybody else was, with a walker or having somebody help them. Not everybody, but I saw a couple of women who needed help walking to get their flu shot. And I thought, Jesus Christ, here I am. That's me. I'm an invalid, which is my terror. I don't want to need help. And the reason I was there is because I have ulcerative colitis, and that's a pre-existing condition, and I should get a flu shot. And I just never got one before. But they sent me a thing, so I got a flu shot. And literally, you walk in, and you don't even stand in line. You walk in, they come up to you, they say, roll up your sleeve. You roll up your sleeve. They stick a thing in your arm. They don't even put a Band-Aid on it, and you're out. And it's like the most efficient operation. So I felt really elderly and decrepit because I was with the old people getting my flu shot. And then this weekend I felt really like I'm doing something right because I was with the vital old people swimming and exercising and taking care of themselves. And yeah, so I can't say my shoulder feels much better, but the point of it is to move it, because moving it hurts. Moving it in water hurts less. And the more I move it, the faster it'll get better. And it still might take months, but at least I'm not moving it and feeling a ton of pain. And right now, I just want my elbows to stop hurting. But my elbows only hurt because I'm doing weird things, trying to avoid using my shoulder. So I have to figure out a couple of things, like how to get into my tank suit without hurting my shoulder. Um, I mean, maybe I'll wear a bikini, because the bikini, I don't have to, the straps aren't elastic that I have to pull and struggle into. I just drop it over my head. Um, who knows? But the good news is that I've found something that lets me move, and it does give me a good deal of pain relief. And I'm really, for the first time in weeks, I'm hopeful that I'm going to start feeling better soon. Although I know I'm going to go through a period of exhaustion this week because it's a new exercise plan. So of course I'm going to be tired and my muscles are going to ache. But Therme also has a massage therapist, so maybe maybe I can do that. I don't know. I'm freaked out about money because sales are bad, so I don't want to go and have a massage. But like Bob said to me, if you're hurting, nothing works, nothing gets done if you are in pain. So maybe I'll go and write it off as a business expense. I can't do that. I can't do that. But it would be nice if I could. Anyway, so yeah, just want to let you know I'm feeling much better. Um, I have a plan. It's a good plan. There's no reason that I couldn't go over there every day and swim, and that's what I'm gonna do. So really, really lucky that the place we moved to ends up being, 5 minutes away from this amazing therapeutic place. So that's it for this week. Check me out next week. I will post progress. Hopefully, I'll have great news. Thanks for sticking around.